Hello there, welcome to my channel. So I have come back from the Blood Moon retreat with the Witch Wise and the lovely wise witch Michelle Marie Elliot from Cornwall. I've had a blast, I've met some amazing people, and I thought I would share some of the purchases I got, because when in Boscastle it would be rude to not visit the Museum of Witchcraft and Magick. So I knew I was going there, and I saved to go, and those things that I wanted specifically to buy. So I made sure I did it whilst I was in the area to imbue them all with the magic of Boscastle. I have my little bag, so here we go. So some of these things I purchased, and actually some of these things are what we got up to on the retreat. Marjorie's just coming to say hello. So I start with this lovely little stick. This is from the sea. The sea washed up lots of driftwood after the big storm, because there's a massive storm in the area this year. And I found this when I was out there, and it just kind of asked me to bring it home. Not something I would normally do. So I have picked it up, and it's here. Somebody thinks it's going to be for her to play with, so I'll put this straight into my bag. But I think this might be a little bit of magical treats for me. And moving through, I'll start with the crafts. We did some crafts while I was there. We made resins. So this is a resin that I have made here, imbued specifically with particular ingredients for the purpose I wanted to use this for. I'm quite looking forward to using this. I need to add possibly a few more things to it because it's a bit sticky, but then that's why it's a resin, or an incense resin. And I was wondering if I could possibly turn this into incense cones. So I have seen some people do that with a bit of honey to bind it all together. So I need to look that up and see if I can possibly do that. But that's what I'm hoping to do. We made little lanterns to take into the forest. So I've got my string handle on my lantern to make sure that your hand doesn't get burnt with the flame when it's in there. And then obviously you pop your little candle in there and light it, and away you go, so you can carry on your merry way. That was a little bit of fun. All these things really do sort of bring out your inner playfulness and your inner child. And I don't know, it just helps to bring the magic of it all together. This lovely book was gifted to me by an artist called Hannah, who got us to make our own witches' runes, which I will show you in a minute. Sorry, I've got the dog here trying to jump all over me. And I'll show you the runes in the back here. So these are the runes, and these are some suggested symbols, or you could look to make your own symbols to go with them, and then meanings to go with the runes. And these are all based on the kind of sea witch from the area. And there's little stories and sea songs in here, if I'm calling it correct. So the Sea Woman's Croon. Yes, this is just a beautifully little made book with lots of information and fabled tales, as it says quite there, to take away with us. And this came inside these bags, which are obviously that's a block printing, and then put onto the bags here. And inside I have some mugwort, which I was gifted in one of the sea blessings that we did. So I've just got Marjorie here trying to get her nose into absolutely everything, because the smells are driving her crazy. So you'll see her nose continually appearing, I think. And I can't pick these up because they're still drying, but these are my runes. I don't know if we can zoom in, let's have a look. Okay, so that's just a rough idea of the runes and what they look like. But as I say, they are still drying, and great fun. I now have my very own witchy set of runes, which I have been wanting for a very long time. I made the Elder Futhark ones and kind of didn't use them or feel called to continue to use them. This is a lovely little book that I made with the lady called Becky, who's another fantastic artist. Her paintings are amazing, and so is her poetry. And this is done with a kind of mindful intention drawing onto just a piece of paper, and then turning it into lots of bright colours, and then turning it into a concertina book that is bound. You can add to this. I didn't actually feel the need to add to this because I felt I had enough here, but you can make different ones for different things, and they probably make really nice little presents for people as well. However, you have to have the ability to draw on them and not be scared of messing them up. So we've got that there, and then just inside, just created little pages and borders and information to write on so that I could document my weekend, which was part of the reason for making these, was so that we had something to remember our weekend with. And yeah, it was a really, really lovely little crafting exercise. As you can see, I had lots of fun putting charms onto the ends of the tassels and just creating, yeah, really enjoyed it. I think that's everything I crafted. Now on to the purchases for the museum. So if we start with this one, because this one is the one that Marjorie is most enamoured with. So this is, can you see that? A little cone incense burner in the shape of a witch's hat. I couldn't leave it behind. I mean, it's just so cute. So I thought I would christen it here live. Have some incense. Just see how it goes. Of course, I could regret this, but I couldn't find a stand to put the incense on, so it should, I hope, be okay in here. So I'm going to leave that burning quietly in the corner, so it should start to, you should see the smoke coming through. Is that better? A bit of light on the situation. They had some reproduction jewellery in there from somebody, and they had these ones made from, or they were originally made from twigs, and then they've been cast and turned into pieces of jewellery. And I wasn't sure, and it was after I paid for everything I bought that I was like, actually no, I do want this one. It comes on a really nice long chain, so it's a long necklace, and I think it's just stunning piece of jewellery. And yeah, I actually really enjoy wearing this one. So that was my piece of bling for myself. They had so many lovely bits of jewellery. There were charm bracelets and all sorts of things. It was really hard to make your mind up. They had two little wooden signs, although there was only one on show in the museum. So I got this one, which if I put it onto the back of this, you can probably see better. So it says Blessed Be. We have a little charm here, and some berries, ribbon, and a little ring for hanging it up. So I got this one. They did have a Christmas one, but as I say, I couldn't find that one, so I came back with this one. They're equally as beautiful as each other, so it didn't really make much difference. I quite like that. I like the little Blessed Be saying. So I got this one. I'm going to put that away to make sure that Marjorie doesn't eat any of these little berries off, because she's been very kind of domineering since I've got back. I think she enjoyed being the run of the house while I was missing. And of course we've got a postcard, so it's the painted witch outside the museum, and this is on the doorway of the museum. As you walk up past the garden, there's a door right in front of you, and that's there, and there's the wooden gate with the pentagram on it there, so that's lovely. And the main door into the museum is on the right hand side, so you don't go through this doorway, but it's a really pretty fun, playful aspect to the museum, so I thought I'd bring that home because I can put that in a frame and use it. I thought it was just a great little addition to come home with. Then I got a postcard which is reach for your lucky star. The doorway of fate is to your hand, a hand of fate and fortune. The doorway of fate is to your hand, the hand of fate and fortune. Okay, so the magic is within you. Then we have the gateway to the secret of the stars. This is really interesting because Jonathan Daly on his on his YouTube channel did a reading for me yesterday. I just asked him how my experience at the museum had changed, and the card he got was the star, was one of them. So it's kind of like moving forward and realizing kind of who you are and where you're going, your destiny. So this is actually quite a coincidental item that I picked up. There were so many fabulous posters, some which would be right up my street, especially for Halloween. But I chose to get this one, which is the Wheel of the Year by Vivian Shanley, for anyone that's familiar with this lady. I'm not, I will admit, but I chose to get this because I just thought it was really pretty. They did have it on a window sticker, but they had sold out of those as well. So I've got it as a poster, and my idea is I will probably cut it out and stick it into one of my books. So I've got it in there. But it's just a really beautiful item, and you see as it goes round, you're about here right now. It's just a lovely way of seeing what's going on. So it's got your equinoxes, your solstices, and your cross quarters in there, and the months of the year. So really, really pretty. I did get a book that I had been looking at for a little while, which is the Wart, Cunning, Folk Medicine and Herbal by Nigel Pearson. Haven't had a chance to look at this yet, but it's a double-sided book. Does anyone remember when you had to turn a book upside down? So Folk Medicine Herbal, and then this side is Folk Magic Herbal. So it's got things like ash, correspondence, along with the oak and thorn. Ash is one of the most magical of trees and is included in the 9 woods that makes the Beltane fire. So there's lots of really good information. Some of the ladies that were there are very familiar with Nigel Pearson's book, so I did ask them, do they recommend his stuff? And their answers were quite simple: never read a bad book by him. And that's going by the ladies of the land. So I decided that I would take it and see. And then this side of the book gives you kind of, recipes for how to fix things. Epilepsy, feverfew, hawthorn, gallbladder. Okay. And then you see it turns upside down again. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to seeing what's in that book and how much fun it is. This I have been eyeing up since they brought it out in the museum. So they got it in, I think it was the beginning of the year or end of last year, I can't remember now, but they advertised that they were going to be stocking it, and the book as well. And were we interested? Well, how could I not be? Because they're amazing looking cards. And I was like, yep, I'm coming, I'm going to buy this while I'm there. So I've saved to get it from them specifically. It's been in and out of stock, and I was worried that they had kind of sold out and weren't going to get it back in. I was so relieved to see it on the shelves. So it's got lovely write-ups. Look at this. So the text is in shapes of items. I mean, that's just magical. There are 10 cards in the front of this deck. Again, I haven't looked at the deck and spent time with it, but I just think it's fabulous. So this is Madame Lulu's Book of Fate, which is the guide to Carnival at the End of the World Tarot by Sarah Faulkner, for anyone that's curious. So that's the book. So it's just the paperback in black and white. Didn't see any suggested spreads. No, there's no spreads in there. So that's one thing to bear in mind if you're after this. And then we have a tuck box. So there we go. The backs are this Harlequin colouring. So nice reversible backs if you're into that. And then these are the cards. So maybe if I put them down, We could perhaps maybe just have a quick look through them rather than me doing a separate walkthrough. Or perhaps I'll do a quick flip through of the cards alone. But let's take a little look at the actual cards together while we're here, as we've got the camera rolling. They're really bizarre looking, aren't they? How many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I'll just put them out of the way. So we have the Fool, Kitchen, isn't that interesting, where they're kind of bound together almost. Oh, Strength. See, it's not always about completely overruling, but sometimes trust. That Hermit card is great. I think that's just brilliant. Justice. So then we have the Heart versus the Feather. Hanged Man. Death. So that's an interesting Temperance, isn't it? And Devil. Star made up of blood vessels. Moon. Sun. Judgment in the World. Then we've got the Wands. Call that the Fire Dance, couldn't you? That 5. Burning Man, the Wicker Man. So Page, Knight, Queen. King. Cups. So I would say if you're ever in the area of Boscastle and you're interested in old history, definitely check out the museum. If it's open, check their opening times, and also whether you need to pre-book, because you didn't have to pre-book to go in here, and you had to pay on the website. So that's the only thing I would say to you. And they do close for a little bit, I think, in the winter time. So you don't want to travel down there and discover it's not open if that's specifically what you've gone for. But there are a couple of other really lovely little shops, and the sea cliff walk is beautiful up there. Well worth a little kind of mooch around. It's about an hour and a half in traffic from Plymouth. So apparently not in traffic, it's about an hour and 10 minutes. So there you go. There's our Queen of Pentacles. And there's the King of Pentacles. Right, well, there you go. That is my fun at Boscastle. The fun that I had at Boscastle. And the things that I purchased. Have you been to the Witches Museum? I know a few of you have. Let me know what you thought of it. How did you find it? How amazing did you find the area? And what profound experiences did you feel, take away, or find? I'd love to hear from you. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.